Perhaps you want to have a boat. You think of sailing and fishing all day long. You work as many hours as you can. You spend your off hours studying boat-related subjects. You really want a boat. Your life would be so much better with a boat. You have to have a boat. You will do anything to get the boat. What started as a simple desire for something which could give you pleasure has now turned into a destructive obsession. Destructive to not only you, but also those around you. You take time away from your family. Perhaps you spend money that would better be used for other family-related needs. Knowing the difference between a simple desire and an obsession is crucial. Obsessions destroy all the balance in your life. Obsessions come in many forms, but their efforts are always the same. What we are looking at now are the specifics of emotions. Much more of this topic is the subject of the next two-way messages, particularly the Jesus message. What you have hopefully learned here of the teachings of the Buddha are the spiritual tools necessary to change your actions, behavior, and in the end, your soul. These 8 basic tools will help you implement the examples that are provided in the Christian and Islamic faiths. They are yours to do with as you will. Remember, though, only you can choose to use them. Only you can choose to change your thoughts and actions. In order to use them, you must have the desire in your heart to be a better person, to make a better world, and to find the way back, your way back to God. It is the one desire in this universe that you can never be too extreme about. When you have this desire in your heart, you have it within you to accomplish all things, that you should be happy, and the world should be made a better place, is the will of God. If these are your desires as well, then you have already surrendered your will for God's own. It is the only time that a surrender can mean total victory. Peace. Mahdi. Chapter 9. Pages.
Oh, how many pages was that chapter?
That was 12.
Wow. Yeah, that was 47 minutes long.
12 pages. And the next chapter is 22 pages.
Well, how did you feel about that chapter? What were your thoughts and feelings about it?
It was great. There was some really a couple of points that I thought was really good about. I wanted to hold the page.
About right action. Or?
Yeah. It was about the karma too. About doing things and being careful what you do and what you say. You know, it said make sure you say specifically what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really important to me because a lot of people don't say what they mean. And even when you ask questions, they don't respond to what you ask. They respond to what they think you're asking instead of what you're asking. And if people responded specifically to what you said or what the question was, then they would get the specific answer. I thought that was really, really good because we have lots of communication problems in our society. And that's because two things. People think for other people because of their own experiences, which they should not do.
Mm-hmm.
They should not think what the other person might be thinking. And we get that a lot, I think, from TV, from news, speculation, assumption, all of these types of things, which is not good when you're trying to have a real communication with someone, when you really want to know what that person's feeling and thinking, or you want them to know what you're feeling and thinking. And it's so very important, like they said, to analyze what you're thinking, why you're thinking it, or what you're feeling and why you're feeling it. And when you speak to that, then you speak specifically to that and not beating around the bush or assuming what the other person is going to think or feel about what you're going to say, something like that. But I thought that was really, 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 really important about the communications that we have, because that's the problem with the world today. It's communication. You know, even with I wouldn't say my president, the president, you know, he refuses to communicate with other world leaders about peace because he's set on war. He's set on strategies for war and you know, separatism and all of that, where the world was one at one time. And then everything became separate. It became, you know, them and us and them. And it's really just we. And until we get back to that, like they said, we won't become one. And our is become one with each other and then with the collective and the other human, advanced human beings throughout the universe and have a good time. So that's what I think. So we'll go on to the next chapter, which is chapter 10. And chapter 10 is called the Messiah Projects, Jesus, Son of Mary. The last one we did, the Messiah Project, Buddha, Son of Maya. Okay.
You want to say the chapter and introduce it? And
this is The Way, chapter 10, the Messiah Projects, Jesus, Son of Mary. The chapter opens up with several quotes from noted people that I'll begin by reading. How natural that the errors of the ancient should be handed down and mixing with the principles and systems which Christ taught, give to us an unadulterated, give to us an adulterated Christianity. This was a quote by Olympia Brown, 1835 to 1900, U.S. minister, first woman ordained in the U.S., sermon on January the 13th, 1895. The next quote. People in general are equally horrified at hearing the Christian religion doubted and at seeing it practiced. Samuel Butler, 1835 to 1902, an English author. The trouble with born-again Christians is that they are an even bigger pain the second time around. That quote was from Herb Cahan, a U.S. columnist and author, in the San Francisco Chronicles, July 20th, 1981. The Christian ideal has not been tried and found wanting. It has been found difficult and left untried. G.K. Chesterton, a British author, 1874, 1936. What's wrong with the world?